I'll call the meeting to order. This is the February 19th, 2018 meeting of the Cape Girardeau City Council. Thank you all for being here. Roll call, please.
Danny Estner.
Here.
Bob Fox. Here. Robbie Gard. Here. Victor Gunn is absent. Shelley Moore.
Here.
Harry Rediker.
Here.
Joseph Azuro.
Here. Council, we need to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Gard.
Second.
And that's seconded by Fox. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We have no presentations this evening. Communications, Council.
I'll zip through mine pretty quick, Mayor, if I can. First, Greater Cape Area Community Foundation. We met last week, the Board of Governors meeting, and through that discussion, really are kind of wanting to look at that, who that quarterbacks are going to be in that purpose built. We really would like to appoint them as a board member to this group as well.
Okay.
And I think they could really, the assets they could be able to help in the planning process and fundraising process for what purpose built is going to look like in our community. And getting those people together, I think they're ready for that.
Okay.
So I was really pleased at the conversations that were going with Judy Tony and Dana Savarino, and really getting some synergy with
Good.
what that's going to look like. So wanted to pass that along. Daddy-daughter dance. I took my daughter on Saturday. This is a picture of her. She was tired. Look at that. That was at the very end of the night. As you can tell, she had a great time because she was had danced until she couldn't dance any longer. But I want to tell Julia and staff thank you. And that is the 10th year. And being a new father, that was only the second year that I've been able to take Claire. I had such a great time and great crowd and everything. So thank you to Penny, and thank you, Julia, for everybody doing that. So I wanted to give a shout out there. So last thing I had, Fraternal Order of Police Officers met. They invited the new council members and new mayor, Bob Fox, but Bob was out of town. I couldn't make it in January, but I made it to Thursday's meeting. It was tough. There were some tough conversations in that hour that I was there. But I took some positives out of it as well. As a council, we kind of said to Wes that, everything's on the table. Violent crimes we know are up. So everything being on the table, and I wanted to assure them that as a council that we want to know those discussions. We want to hear about those things and ideas. Not that we're going to be able to accomplish all of the requests or anything they might want, but we care. We've got an open ear to it. So so out of that, I committed to doing a better job of getting in the weeds, and I can get into the weeds a little by going on a ride along. And I would urge council to do that, individually do that a little bit more. So we can really see what's going on at that level to help us make decisions at this level. Out of my 2 years of being on council, that's the biggest complaint I have for me is that I don't, sometimes it's hard to get that information because of where we're at in the food chain, so to speak. So I agreed to them that I would go on more ride-alongs. So anyway, want to throw that out there. They've got a good group. Sean Olsdorf's known him for a long time. He can ask some pointed questions, but we all laughed and shook hands and had a good time. So anyway.
When will we have the next update on crime rates? Are we going to get a quarterly update?
I could have that for the next meeting.
Excellent.
I don't know when it is. I will pass along the officer experience, I think, is coming up.
Yeah, April. I don't remember
I don't know the exact date, but for all of you that will still be here, I urge that.
Thanks, Robbie.
I urge that we try to attend. So anyway, that's busy week, so I want to pass that along.
Yeah, and really encouraged with the development of the nuisance ordinance and how that's going. We got an update there. I think that's going good. And I think Officer Couch is interacting with the landlords where I think we're better there. See positive things happening there.
Absolutely.
We'll see the numbers a little bit. You know, it's not going to be drastic probably, but we do need to keep attuned to that.
And kudos to, I'll slide one more in here. This weekend, we had a nuisance and abatement issue at my house. Without getting into too much detail, nuisance and abatement came out. There were deer that was hurt, came out, called in help from Officer Green and took care of the issue. It was made for a very interesting day for me, but I will say I would really appreciate staff and they handled it like true professionals. So.
Okay, anyone else?
Yes, I would like to tell everybody that SNAP is looking for volunteers for their new opening on Sprigg Street. You can contact Felicia at 270-9903. She's really looking for elderly people that could come out and help assist. Training will be provided so that you don't have to worry about what you need to do or what you shouldn't do.
There you go.
And I'm asking everybody that is listening, please call her and volunteer. We really do need people to come out and help with the youth and for the people that are in pain and hurting and don't know what else to do. Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
Do they have an office somewhere now, Shelley?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
Sprigg Street, the corner of Sprigg and Morgan Oak, the old Salvation Army building.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, southeast corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to comment on the NAACP banquet. I had the privilege of going Saturday night. This is the second year that I've gone. And I would encourage everybody to try to attend at some point in the future. That is a first-class event, and the room was full of positive ideas and positive attitudes. I just really enjoyed the opportunity to be there and meet some of the folks there. And I think it was just a great deal for the community as a whole.
It was a great event. I attended along with City Manager Scott Meyer and Councilwoman Shelley Moore. It was a great event, great speaker. I talked to Reverend Webb afterward from Poplar Bluff and told him we will probably be back in touch with him at some point in time as we move on with purpose-built community. Yeah, he has said just the right things. Yeah. With passion. Pardon? As we, didn't I say as? No, we're moving on with purpose belt, no question. Anyone else? Staff?
Well, we've got a few things to add. First of all, we have a $69 flight to Chicago out of our airport. And if you are interested in that, you need to engage on the internet. I think right now it's available electronically only. So you can engage with that. That's an opportunity to experience our new airline.
Through March 28th.
Through March 28th.
Yeah, so we got a whole month.
Absolutely. I was gone last week to Jefferson City where I talked with our home dock cities, which we share. Each of the cities have a casino in them. There are some things going on with casinos regarding new legislation. So we talked about that in ways that we can influence and get out the information regarding those things. So we talked with our legislators about those. Also had several items with the legislative items that we are working on at MML, which was the rest of the conference that I was at. And we talked about several items there with prevailing wage, with tax credits, with different code, a mandate to post a bunch of things. It's going to cost cities money, but they don't have money to do that, kind of an unfunded mandate, several things like that. So we're engaging and spreading information as what is the impact of those to cities and to us in particular. So spent a few days doing that. We did just wanted to highlight the indoor aquatic facility. We had one of the project sheets. We did just update that, and I wanted to make sure people were aware of that. Had some questions about that weren't quite sure about it. So we've updated that to be more specific on what the considerations are. And then also the amount is $6 million. That's the amount. I think there's some questions about that. So we updated that. And then I wanted to also reiterate that we did have a process that we've talked about with the casino, and I've got a copy of that if you're interested in that. We went through it last time, and it really talks about how we will work through, if it passes, that we'll have a committee that we put together, that we'll have a consultant that will come, and that we will figure out, how we can get the best facility we can with the money that will be in the project. $6 million from the city, but from what other forces, and then also how are we going to take care of the operating costs? Because we're not going to build something that we can't sustain financially. So it's really important that we do that. So the process we have is very similar to the one that we use at the indoor sports complex, and the success that's happened with that, we believe that this will yield a similar successful, financially sustainable outcome. So just wanted to be real clear about that. And then a couple of WOW customer service. First of all, we had a clean audit this earlier tonight, and that's not the sexiest thing in the world, but believe me, when it comes to credibility with taxpayers, a clean audit is really important. And we had just absolutely clean. There just were no recommendations to and the processes we're using and the things we have in place to make sure that they're used are all touted as good, very good. So really excited about that. The police major case squad had arrest this last week, and congratulations on that. That's great work, and it keeps our community safe, and the timeliness that went on. And then we had an award for the South Spring Bridge project, which was dealing with sinkholes and a very complicated project, and the American Concreters recognized that project, and so our folks as well as Horn and Schifrin received an award for that. That's all I got, Mayor.
Okay. We have a public hearing tonight on the 2018 to 2023 capital improvement program. Public hearing is open for anyone to appear before the council. Yes, Judith?
I'm Judith Ann Lang. I live at 318 Meriwether Street, and I've been hearing rumors about the improvements of Fountain Street for a long time, and it is one of the items in this capital improvement plan. I talked with one of the city planners. He said to bring my concerns to the council. I understand there's $1 million that has been budgeted, so to speak, for this project. It is to move Fountain Street a block and a half through Indian Park, next to the slough, alongside City Hall and the Kellerman's house. And I don't understand who thought that was a good idea. I don't understand how they can do it. The city planner I talked to, he didn't have an answer for me either. He was like, well, we haven't gotten that far with it yet. And maybe it's something that I'm, too late. But I know we haven't rattled the property owners along there yet. There was another property owner that was supposed to be here with us tonight. But does anybody have any thoughts on it?
Well,
why we're doing it?
It is in the capital improvements budget, but actually it's in our Transportation Trust Fund 5 list of projects that was passed in 2015. It's a project on the Transportation Trust Fund. When we did TTF 5, council and staff and planning and zoning and a committee perused all of those projects. We had numerous public meetings about each of the projects.
I don't remember one. about
Advertised
Pleasant Street, Mary.
2015. I guarantee you they were all there. And it isn't really a capital improvements. It's budgeted through there, but it's a transportation trust fund project to enhance traffic and
Why?
connectivity.
I don't understand why.
Just listen to me a minute. And connectivity to better connect downtown. It was well received. It passed through council. It passed through staff. We had, to my knowledge, we'd have to go back through the minutes, but no opposition to Fountain Street. It was and it hasn't been designed yet. So we do know it's tight in a couple areas, and we don't know for sure how that'll all work out yet. We've only had in 20 years, we've had 2 projects out of all the projects that we've done that we ended up not doing. We've always told on the Transportation Trust Fund, we've always told the voters that once we say we're going to do something and the voters approve it, we're going to do it.
Okay, but this evidently has gone under the radar.
No,
because the people
I
that
beg to
live
differ.
There are several people that are new.
Yeah.
They knew nothing
Well, and
about
they
it.
weren't here because this was back in 2015. Yeah, 2015.
But it doesn't connect to Meriwether, so it
I'm
doesn't
not-
benefit
I'm
those
not
people.
concerned about Meriwether. I'm concerned about $1 million of my tax money, and roundabout way, it's still my tax money,
Sure.
to connect William Street to what?
To all of downtown. I
To
mean,
what?
I know people that's
But right
Montana.
now, people come off of Fountain Street and they turn left or they turn right. So we're gonna spend $1 million so they can go a block and a half and still turn left or right
It'll connect Fountain Street from
to
Highway
Independence.
74 from the bridge clear to Park.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to go through Indian Park. So you're gonna destroy a park.
No, we're not going to destroy Park.
It doesn't
You
go
have a
through the
slough
park.
on the other side. I don't know if any of you have visited our resident Happy Hollow area. I really don't understand it. And when this came forth, one of the neighbors brought it to my attention, and it's like, okay, it's never too late to stop something. And
Yeah.
sorry, but I don't,
Okay, well, we appreciate,
Those are my opinions.
respect your opinion.
thank you.
And it has not been designed yet. There may be some conflicts in design that might prevent it, but we've always, with the exception of 2 projects, one in TTF 4 and one in TTF 1, that we ended up not doing. One by because the development wasn't there, and there was a Century Farm that made it not feasible financially to do. So this may not, the design hasn't been made yet, but the decision was made by staff, council, planning and zoning, the committee, and numerous public meetings downtown and around the city.
I just don't understand how you put traffic next to City Hall and Kellerman's house.
Well, that design hasn't been made yet. That design hasn't been made yet, but the decision to do it has been made.
Well, there's traffic between there now. And I
Yeah.
mean, we have done some preliminary engineering. I mean, we didn't just draw a line on an aerial photograph. We have done some preliminary engineering, and we believe it's very feasible. We believe for the money that is in the project that we can do the project. No, we don't have the detailed design done yet, but we do believe, and it would be at the very edge of Indian Park. There's actually you can drive the route now.
You try driving the route.
I have.
Well, but where does it bring you? It does not connect to Fountain Street from the bridge. You have to jog over. If you want to go straight, you're going right through the playground.
I've driven it, and I would just tell you.
The old railroad tracks is what you've driven.
Sure.
And I know that's there.
Yep.
But I don't see spending $1 million for a block in here. My opinion.
Well, we appreciate the input, but it was really not just brought up as a part of our, that is part of the capital improvements. Was been on the TTF projects since 2015. So it's well into TTF 5. Respect and appreciate your comment. Anyone else to appear before the council on any item that is on the agenda? Mr. Maynard.
Mayor, Council, very briefly here for item 10 on the consent agenda. Very excited about this particular development project. And also here in attendance, I would like to have Andy Patel stand up and John Schneider, who is his legal representation. Again, this is for item 10 on the consent agenda. It is the Dogwood Community Improvement District and redevelopment plan concerning the Town Plaza area. We would certainly answer any questions you may have that we can answer at this particular time. I want to let you know that we're excited about this particular project.
I am personally excited about this project. It develops into an entertainment venue, a corner of really viable Town Plaza that is getting new, exciting developments with it. And this is in the northeastern quadrant that has been determined to be a blighted area, and it is. And excited about it. Questions from council? What we will do.
Way to renovate a big old building that's just sitting there vacant.
Absolutely.
What we'll be doing, council, tonight with item 10 is just a resolution to set a public hearing, which would come before us in the next council meeting.
I'd just like to thank Mr. Patel for making an investment in our community, and I think it's going to have a very positive impact on our local economy. We're already becoming a visitor's destination, and this is going to give people one more reason to come here.
I should add at this time that certainly working with Andy and his wife Anissa on not only this project, but certainly with the Prospect League project and other things has been a pleasure. And it's great to have Andy in this area.
So there is no question, a great asset to our community. Any other comments, council?
Thank you.
Thank you to Andy. I know he's had a busy 30 days between this and the Prospect League, and just the sentiment that everybody up here. Thank you, Andy.
Okay, anyone else to appear before the council on any item that is on the agenda? Eric, consent agenda, please.
Over 18-12, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, by changing zoning of property located at 720 Thema Street in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, from C1 to CBD. An ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, by changing the zoning of property located at 720 Thema Street in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, from C1 to CBD. Number 18-13, an ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, by changing the zoning of property located on Hopper Road in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, from R1 to C1. An ordinance amending Chapter 30 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, by changing the zoning of property located on Hopper Road in the city and county of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, from R1 to C1. Number 18-17, an ordinance vacating the city's interest in public drainage easement at 330 Seamers Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance vacating the city's interest in public drainage easement at 330 Seamers Drive in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-18, a resolution of support for the proposal from Liberty Apartments of Cape Girardeau LLC for the Liberty Apartments of Cape Girardeau Housing Development. Bill number 18-19, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute a release of lien for property located at 923 South Ellis Street under the Federal Home Loan Bank Affordable Housing Grant Program in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-21, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute a contract with St. Louis Bridge Construction Company for the Sloan Creek Bridge Superstructure and Slope Stabilization Project in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-22, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute an agreement with Loppy Cement Finishing Inc. for the Concrete Street Repair 2018 project in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-23, Resolution calling for public hearings to consider the proposed Cape Dogwood Community Improvement District and the Cape Dogwood Development Plan, directing the city clerk to give notice of such public hearings and other related matters. Number 18-24, resolution authorizing city manager to execute supplemental agreement number 2 with Crawford Murphy Utility Inc. for construction, administration, and observation of the runway 1028 lighting rehabilitation project at the Cape Cod Regional Airport. Number 18-25, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute a utility agreement with Union Electric Company, DBA Ameren, Missouri, to construct electrical improvements associated with the runway 1028 lighting rehabilitation project at the Cape Cod Regional Airport. Bill number 18-26, resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a letter of agreement with Southeast Missouri State University to prepare a historic resource survey in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Council, you've heard the reading of the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
So moved by Guard,
Second.
seconded by Zura. Any further discussion?
Mayor, I'd just like to add, I'm really excited to see the Sloan Creek project start. I know Joe is.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great project. Again, that's a TTF project that'll move forward. And from the timing, looks like it will be a very timely project also. And also the resolution to do our concrete street repair, which, as we all know, as council and citizens needed. Any other discussion? Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Well, council, we have one new ordinance this evening. Bill number 18-20, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a special warranty deed from the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri to Show Me Technologies LLC for property located at 1429 Curry Lane in the city of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, our old fire station 4. First read. So moved by Garden, seconded by Essner. Had a great follow through with our RFP there and got it sold. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Is there any other business to come before us?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Adjourned by Guard
Second.
and seconded by Ozura. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.
I don't think I can get through.
Can you put me?